Greetings. The Elden Ring early access is now ongoing. While the Souls community is hyped to the moon, the oppression of PC gamers is still shown as the norm as we're excluded from the early access test. Enough about that. If you still haven't played Sekiro in 2021, then this video is for you. Enjoy. Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice is a game developed by From Software's Hidetaka Miyazaki. Does that name sound familiar? It should, because he's also the developer of another series of games that From Software is known for. That's right, it's Armored Core. Departing from the usual medieval aesthetic that they've been known from, Miyazaki draws inspiration from local Japanese folklore and some of their previous games. I have to say, Sekiro plays really different from its three famous cousins with the grappling hook and stealth element. Most of all, jumping isn't jank. Which makes sense because the character you're controlling is a ninja. It's the most agile Souls game that I played. I don't know about Bloodborne because I'm poor and I don't own a PS4. The story is easy to follow, although similar to Dark Souls where item descriptions contain lore. There are 4 endings for you to get, really giving you that incentive for more playthroughs. Let's talk mechanics. The main thing that separates Sekiro from the other Souls games is its posture bar, which you can fill by deflecting an enemy's attack or dealing damage to them. Time your guard or press the L1 button right before the enemy's attack lands, then that's considered a deflect. If you can fill their posture gauge, then you can pull a brutal execute on them called a death blow, even if they still have about half of their health bar. However, if your own posture bar gets filled while holding L1, which is called guarding, then you will get staggered, and if you're staggered in a boss fight, then expect a punishing attack that will shave off a large chunk of your health bar if it didn't outright kill you. This is where deflecting comes in. Deflecting raises your posture bar, but it will not break it as long as you deflect properly. Deflecting might sound difficult at first and you might get tempted to just hold that L1 in an entire fight, but you don't need to worry. There's a lot of bosses and many bosses in this game to make sure you know how to deflect by the end of it. For example, meet Orin. You'll encounter this crying shamisen girl at some point in the story. I asked her why she was crying. She just told me she was sad. She didn't outright tell it to my face that she was sad because I suck at deflecting. So she proceeded to school me on deflecting 101. After dying for what felt like a gazillion times, I was finally able to memorize and match her attack patterns with my deflect. Sometimes I would slip up, and if I got caught with my pants down, then I would just tap the ever-living shit out of the L1 button, which makes Sekiro looks like he's having a micro stroke. While on the topic of deflecting, let me also tell you what I love about this game. On your first run, it will push you into intense situations where you're one hit away from finishing an enemy, but you get killed instead because you got greedy with your attacks. So you try again, and the next time you do a little better. My healing gourd is now empty. As her posture meter fills, I felt my heart racing, extra cautious but still overeager to finally deliver that final death blow. And then bam, thank you Miyazaki for this balls to the wall gaming experience. Prosthetics. Sekiro's mechanical left arm is the Swiss Army knife of death, containing various tools to aid you in killing your foes more efficiently. There are 10 prosthetics in this game, each of them unique at what they can offer. One of my favorites is the flame vent, which spews fire at your enemies and has a high chance to inflict burn. If you want to hasten the process of cooking your enemies alive, then consider throwing oil at them, guaranteeing the burn status after hitting them with your flames. After unlocking a skill upgrade late into the game, you'll be able to coat your sword in its flames, which is very badass. There are also defensive ones like the umbrella, which can block enemy light attacks up to a certain threshold. The upgraded version of it can even block gunfire. You can't spam the shit out of these bad boys though. Each prosthetics consumes spirit emblem per use. Next is the skill tree. The skill tree will allow Sekiro to be the strongest shinobi there ever was. offering useful passive skill upgrades like gaining health after a death blow or active ones called combat arts. Take note that there is only one slot for combat arts and some powerful combat arts cost spirit emblems too. My favorite combat art is the High Monk. Sekiro leaps up in the air dodging enemy attacks from below while slamming an overhead kick followed by a flurry of kicks and sword slashes. Through spamming, I accidentally discovered that you could catch lightning with this since the time you spend on the air is enough to catch any discharged lightning. You just need to make sure that you press the attack button before hitting the ground. Sekiro can be really unforgiving on your first playthrough. You will die a lot, but remember that no boss fight is unbeatable. Memorize the attack patterns of your enemies in between your bouts of rage and trust me, soon enough you'll be able to get rid of your hesitation and then you're going to be the one aggressively sticking onto their faces. A lot of the praise for this game comes from the deflect and posture system that it has, and they're not wrong. The clanging of metal after you deflect is really satisfying, even more so as you're seeing the posture bar of your enemies pushing them into their eventual demise. Once you have mastered deflecting, then you'll be able to style on your foes with your prosthetics and combat arts. That is when the game's combat starts to really shine. I give this game 9 prayer beads out of 10 gourd seeds. Go play it.